Good afternoon, everyone, and Happy New Year. And I hope you can hear me loud and clear and that we're coming in. Director Gum, all right, very good. I got the thumbs up from our Public Relations Director, and it has been a wonderful start to 2022. And there's so many things, Commissioner Williams, Commissioner Washington, that I can think of to say thank you for as we kick off 2022, an amazing year. I'm super excited, in the words of Executive Director Tony Holmes, and I'm very optimistic about all of what this year has to bring, will bring and offer for the Rockdale County community as a whole, the Board of Commissioners and our operations, and all of the things that stand waiting for us as we continue to move forward. We have an exciting, but I believe very short meeting this afternoon as we kick off our very first BOC meeting for 2022. And I do want to start out, and I know that we're going to do a little bit of this at the end, but I want to just right away, I think I said earlier to Director Dan Morgan that not only was Rockdale County not stressed over the winter storm Izzy, but we were blessed to not be heavily impacted as other communities in the path of the storm, this winter storm. And although we made it through that, we are gearing up and preparing for activity this weekend, and he'll be telling us more about that. I'll yield at this time. I'm excited to be back. Happy New Year, everyone. Director Rutledge, we're calling this meeting to order, and I believe that Rockdale County is proud, and we are celebrating and exciting about this young lady, Miss Paris Muhammad, and we're going to recognize her today, and who will have the honors of giving and presenting the proclamation to Paris.
I don't have a copy with me. Do you have one, Dr. Williams?
All right, well, I tell you what, either the PR department or perhaps Miss Lee has a copy of that proclamation, and if so, I'll be so glad and honored to read it or have someone else read it. Look like we have the very talented Paris on the line. Paris, is that you I'm looking at?
Yes.
Well, welcome aboard and fantastic. We are super excited to have you being recognized right here by Rockdale County Board of Commissioners. You know, this is a special day, a special moment for you and for your family and all the fine work that you're gonna, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna yield just a little bit. I wanna hear Commissioner Williams, Commissioner Washington, I wanna hear from Paris. Paris, if you would take a few moments and tell us about the phenomenal work that you're doing. And keep in mind, Paris, someone in your age group is watching this broadcast and they are going to be inspired by you. Tell us all about what you're doing and the great work that you're doing here in Rockdale County that led you to being recognized by your Board of Commissioners.
So I started this business when I was 7 years old. Me and my nana, we started selling the burning oils, air fresheners, and I added the lip gloss to my collection last year, 2020, and I just got started like that.
Oh, wow. I mean, you make it sound so easy, but I tell you, you have done wait a minute. Wait a minute. It just hit me. I think you said 7 years old?
Yes.
Oh my God, Commissioner Watt, did y'all hear that? That deserves a Rockdale County virtual round of applause.
So her mother attends the Tuesday meet and greets, and so I had the opportunity to meet with her mother, and she's just Paris is just so inspirational. She's the youngest member of the Chamber of Commerce, and she can't come to our meet and greets because of the time of the day that we're at the reserve, but I have had numerous conversations with her mom, and she is very supportive and 100% behind this endeavor. So I'd like to commend you, Paris, for all that you're doing and keep up the good work.
Well, Commissioner Washington, let me commend you, and then I'm going to yield to Commissioner Williams. I just want to say this, Commissioner Washington, you've been working with that, I think it's about every other Tuesday, meet and greet networking event over at the Reserve here in Rockdale County. One of our small businesses in the community. You've been hosting this meet and greet, and through that, you was able to make the connection with Paris. And the hats off, as you stated, to Paris and to her mom for being so supportive and keeping her involved in something that's very positive and very constructive. Commissioner Williams, you had something on the tip of your tongue you was about to say. Let's hear from Commissioner Williams at this time.
Well, I was just going to say I've also had a chance to talk to Paris and to her mother. And I wondered, Paris, if you could tell us a little bit about those the lip gloss that you added to your shop, your online shop, and how, you know, what kind of different flavors and how you got them and that kind of thing.
So my lip gloss are vegan and gluten free. So like these are like the different lip glosses I have right here.
Oh, they're cute.
Good. Okay.
So I have 10 different flavors.
And how did you choose the flavors?
So me and my mom came up with a name and we just went off after that.
Chair, I have the proclamation whenever we're ready.
Fantastic. So Commissioner Washington has the proclamation, and we're going to yield to Commissioner Washington so that she could read. And Paris, let me tell you, this is a big deal. And I'm just going to be talking about this as myself, Commissioner Washington, and Commissioner Williams move throughout not just Rockdale, but the region, because you give us bragging rights so that we can brag in our region to other commissioners in other counties that we've got young people doing super fantastic things. Commissioner Washington, take it away. Let's honor Paris this evening. Whereas
Ms. Paris Muhammad is an ambitious, intelligent 10-year-old entrepreneur, and whereas Ms. Paris is the owner of Paris Place LLC, where she sells vegan and gluten-free lip glosses, air freshener, fragrances, keychains, bracelets, and t-shirts. And whereas she started selling air fresheners and body oils at the age of 7 with her quote unquote Nana, and in 2021, her aunt Jasmine obtained an LLC for her. And whereas Ms. Paris made history when she became the youngest entrepreneur to have a business under the Conyers Rockdale Chamber of Commerce, and whereas when she is not in school or being just a kid, she is devoted to getting her brand nationally and internationally known. And whereas we commend Ms. Paris for her steadfast and ambitious pursuit as a business owner, we wish her continued success and encourage her to continue pursuing her dreams in the years to come. Now, therefore, we, the members of the Board of Commissioners of Rockdale County, do hereby proclaim January 18th, 2022 in Rockdale County as Ms. Paris Muhammad Recognition Day. In witness whereof, we have hereunto set our hands and caused the official seal of Rockdale County to be affixed on this 18th day of January, 2022, signed by all three of us.
Let's give Paris another round of applause. You know, I tell you, virtual meetings do have their place. They have their, this has been a crazy COVID situation we've been in over the last couple of years. So virtual meetings have certainly been able to serve as the filler to make sure that we're able to conduct and carry out the business of the people here in Rockdale County. But this is one of those moments, Commissioner Washington, Commissioner Williams, where I really wish, Paris, that this was a live in-person meeting, because I'd love to give you a high five and a fat fist bump for all the fantastic work that you'll continue to do to represent our county. Keep up the good work. Keep us posted. Stay close to Commissioner Washington. Make sure that you are following the leadership of your mentors. Keep us posted, Paris, on your progress. And I've already had a local citizen who's watching. Director Rutledge, watch this. I've had a citizen who's already watching this broadcast to text me and say, where can I find her products? People are already wanting to know. So I want you to take a moment before we let you go away from the screen. Take a moment, give them your best contact number that you're safe with giving over the broadcast. Give them the Instagram or whatever media outlet that they can find your product. And also, if you want to give a hashtag number to your, what is it called? Cash App account, feel free to do that. Paris, take it away and tell people how they can support you.
You can visit my website is www.parisplacellc.com. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook, Paris Place LLC. You can follow my TikTok, Paris Place 3. And my number is 44793-6523.
Rockdale County, we want you to support Paris. We want you to encourage her, buy her products. Let me just tell you, this is a plug from the chairman. Valentine's Day is on the way. It'll be here February 14th. Paris is in town. She's in Rockdale County. She's taking orders. Get ahead of the Valentine. Don't wait till the last minute. Get your Valentine order in right now. Give Paris a call. Y'all, will y'all join me one more time in giving Paris another wonderful Rockdale round of applause? Paris, thank you so much. Congratulations to you. We're going to keep it. Don't you forget about us when you become big time, even bigger than Rockdale County. Don't forget where you start. Always started right here at The Rock. We're looking forward to seeing great things from you. You rock and keep it up.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Congratulations. Commissioner Washington, thank you so much for bringing Paris to our attention. We're getting ready to move forward with the remainder of our meeting here, Director Rutledge, but I really do appreciate the work that Commissioner Washington is doing in the community in terms of this network. This is an opportunity, Director Gum, to meet and find other people, all these wonderful stories that we can share with our public relations department and share with the community about people like Paris who are doing wonderful things. We just talked, Director Gum and I this morning, about getting more young people intimately involved with what's happening in our community, Dr. Williams, and sharing those wonderful stories about hidden gems like Paris. They're all over Rockdale County. We've got to find these people and we've got to tell them all of the great things, tell the community all of the wonderful things that the young people in our community are doing, just like Paris. We're so proud of her. But I want to get back now and move forward into our meeting. Again, thank you, Paris, and thank you to your parent, your mom, for being supportive and being on board. At this time, Director Rutledge, I believe it's, hey, Mom.
Oh, there she is.
All right, that's right. You know, that's the beauty of our broadcast here, because it's all about the community. And Director Gum has a way of always reminding me, Chairman, it's about the people, it's about the people. So we can have Mom to come in and, what is that? Photobomb is what they call it, Commissioner Washington, and just get in on the screen. Fantastic. Mom,
I don't think it's photobombing when it's your mother.
oh, right. That's right, because moms have the authority.
It's her computer.
Kind of way whenever they want to. You're absolutely right.
I'm glad to know moms are exempt from that. I'll remember.
Exactly. Let's give Mom a round of applause.
And Chairman, remind folks that they can go to our Rockdale 23 YouTube channel and pull up the story that we did on Paris. We were so impressed after we heard this story from her mom. She reached out to us, and we welcome that all the time. We want to hear the good stories about Rockdale County. And so folks can go to our YouTube channel, Rockdale 23, and pull up that video that we did of Paris as well, and her family, and of course, her support system, because it's huge and it's big. And like you said before, she's going to be huge and big, and she's coming out of Rockdale County. So that's always an impressive thing and an impressive thing. And we're going to support that with videos and stories.
All right, very good. All right, thank you, Director. You just reminded everybody that you can check out our story on Rockdale Channel 23. And again, we're going to move on now with the rest of the stuff on our agenda. Thank you, Paris, and thank you to Mom. We certainly do appreciate all of y'all. Executive Director Relative, it's time to move forward with the agenda review for our upcoming meeting scheduled for Tuesday, January the 25th, 2022 at 10 a.m. At this point, we want to move right into agenda review.
All right, well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We will pick up with item 2022-01. This is the Georgia Department of Juvenile Justice through Juvenile Court. This is for the Youth Reporting Service Center. It's a grant in the amount of $42 per youth per day until June 30th, 2022. And if it's okay with the chair and with the board, I will just keep reading until someone is loud enough to interrupt me. Okay, thank you. We're not in person. All right, item number 2 is the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration through the Juvenile Court. This is for the Family Treatment Court Enhancement Project Grant. It's change order number 1 to contract 2021-133. It's a budget revision only. There is no increase or decrease in the funds. The term is October 1st, 2021 through September 30th, 2022. Item number 3 is with Bethany Lavigno through the Juvenile Court. This is for the contracted attorney for children and dependency cases in the amount of $44,400 per year. The term is through present day through December 31st, 2022, with an option to renew 2 additional 1-year periods. Item number 4 is with Criminal Justice Coordinating Council through the Sheriff's Office. This is for fiscal year 20 Comprehensive Opioid Abuse Site-Based Program Grant in the amount of $17,500. It is submitted for ratification. The term is December 15th, 2021 through November 30th, 2022.
Jennifer.
Yes.
Dr. Rutledge, I'd just like to go back and just make a comment. It took me a minute to click on off of
Sure.
mute and all of that. But back to the second one on the juvenile court, the mental substance abuse and mental health services administration. I just wanted to point out that some of that grant is for certified peer specialists. And that is something that we are trying to grow and build here in Rockdale County, because those peer specialists can make a bigger impact on some folks than a clinician even, because they've been in the same spot. They know what it's like. They also can share how they entered into recovery and what that was like. So this is really a big deal to have this with that emphasis on the certified peer specialists.
Well, thank you, Commissioner, for highlighting that and pointing that out, because I think when you get down into the weeds of the importance and the significance of this whole reason of having those peer specialists, understanding that those peer specialists are folks who can, as you stated, identify firsthand. They're not people who haven't had an experience or don't know. These are folks who have dealt with it firsthand. So I really do appreciate you pointing that out. Absolutely. All right.
Thank you. Item number 5 is with the Bureau of Justice through the Superior Court. Is for the 2021 BJA. This is the Justice and Mental Health Collaboration Program Grant in the amount of $550,000. The term is October 1st, 2021 through September 30th, 2024. Item 6 is also with the Bureau of Justice to the Superior Court. It is the 2021 BJA. This is the Adult Drug Court and Veterans Treatment Court Discrepancy Grant in the amount of $546,555. The term is October 1st, 2021 through September 30th, 2025. Item 7 is with the Hospital Authority of Rockdale County. This is for the Superior Court Accountability Court. This is for the Adult Accountability Court's grant in the amount of $20,000. The term is January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2022, and it's submitted for ratification. Item 8 is with the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council through the Superior Court. This is for housing assistance grants. The total amount is $541,495, and the term is January 1st, 2022 through September 30th, 2022, and it's submitted for ratification.
Very good.
So I'd just like to point out that we're talking about over $1.6 million in grants for those who with mental health and substance use issues who have encountered law enforcement. And there's a big emphasis on that now. And it's in my comments, I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the folks that I've met and how it's impacting them specifically, but it's a big deal. And there's actually more than that, because that doesn't include some of the grants that we have already approved. But just tonight, there's over $1.6 million for that.
That's good news, and that's so important that the people of Rockdale County know that the leadership of this community, when it comes to mental health, substance abuse, all of those issues, that every county in the state doesn't address this the way we do it, and it's a big deal that Rockdale is among a few of those counties that actually do that. And what and it doesn't stop there, as you well know, Commissioner. We are putting a lot of emphasis on mental illness, substance abuse, and the interaction between those people who are in those situations, who are having encounters with local law enforcement, and making sure that local law enforcement also has the skill set and the training to be able to deal with people who are undergoing those types of issues. I really appreciate and commend you for all of the work you continue to do to spotlight, highlight those areas of concern. And it seems like there's been a growing need for that over the last, honestly, the last 10 years. Things have taken a turn for the worse, but having these particular programs in place to rehabilitate people and get people back on the right track and just not throw people away, it's a blessing that our county even offers this type of help. So it's just good to know that we're in a community that cares about its constituents to that degree, and that we're working on it.
And I think it's important to realize where these grants are coming from. They're coming from the Bureau of Justice. They're coming from the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council, and they're coming from SAMHSA. And that's important to remember, that this issue is so integrated with public safety and as well as economic development and stability in our schools. It wraps around so much of what happens in our county.
One of the things I'd like to say, Dr. Williams, is that we had a resident who said that they thought it was incumbent upon us to go and seek funding from different sources. They were more concerned about their taxes, but this highlights the fact that we're continuously looking for funding from a myriad of sources in our community so that we can fund programs and with a keen awareness on how issues like this does affect our overall community and economic development. And like you said, this is $1.6 million that isn't coming from our coffers, it's coming from grant funding.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're so right. And this is the perfect platform for us to do just what we're doing, Commissioner Washington and Commissioner Williams, is to share with people and explain to people how these grants come about. Oftentimes people think we, the county government, are the issuers of a lot of these grants, or we have the funding somewhere in our coffers to create or establish these grants, and that's just not the case. So I really do, Commissioner Williams, appreciate you as well for pointing out where these grants originate from, and the point that Commissioner Washington made, explaining, because we're often in the role, Commissioner Washington, of really having to teach and explain, because the average person just may not know and understand. So this is a perfect platform for us to do just that, and to let folks know that we're totally engaged in our community and the needs that are prevalent to us on a day-to-day basis. And we get all kind of calls all the time, but we don't have necessarily the funding at our disposal, and we have to apply and have talent on board our staff to go out and seek for these particular types of grants. But this education information, as Commissioner Washington talked about, is so important to help people understand how we come about this. And I really, again, appreciate Commissioner Williams outlining where they originated from. Absolutely. Next item, please.
All right, thank you. Item number 9 is with Criminal Justice Coordinating Council through the Superior Court and Accountability Court. This is also a grant. It's change order number 1 to contract 2021-82. This is an additional $31,065, and the term is January 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2022, and it's submitted for ratification. Item number 10 is with Recovery Consultants of Atlanta. This is for the Superior Court and Accountability Courts. It's a memorandum of understanding. This is for the mental health services and recovery supportive services. The term is January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2022. Item number 11 is with the Hospital Authority of Rockdale County. This is for the General Services Department through the Recreation Division. This is for SWIM for All Programs grant in the amount of $2,504. The term is January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2022, and it's submitted for ratification. Item number 12 is, sorry.
Well, I was going to say, in case people are wondering who this Swimming for All is, it's for those with autism, with intellectual disabilities, through the therapeutic programs of the county.
No, Commissioner Williams, no, thank you so much. I just got a text within the last 2 or 3 days over the weekend from a local parent who has a special needs child, and she was quite concerned, Commissioner Washington, about the programming over at Rockdale County Parks and Recreation, particularly Johnson Park. I was able to redirect her to Parks and Recreation, and she felt better. She sent me a text and says, thank you. They were able to answer everything. Because she started her text off by saying that she was going to take her child to another county who had more offerings in terms of her special need child. Once she talked to the staff over at Johnson Park, she was able to understand that we also offer many, many opportunities for young people that have special needs. So pointing this out is really, really important, because there's, within our demographic here in Rockdale County, we have people with all different types of needs, and it's good that we do everything we can to make sure that they're aware. I think, honestly, Director Gum, that's another little side nugget for PR, putting the spotlight on autism and all of those other special need services that we provide through our Parks and Rec, so people would be aware. Absolutely. Next item, please.
All right, thank you. Item number 12 is to the Hospital Authority of Rockdale County. This is for the General Services Department and the Senior Services Division. This is for the Liquid Supplemental Program grant, the amount of $7,000. The term is January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2022, and it's submitted for ratification. Item number 13 is with Orange Cone Productions, LLC through the General Services Department. This is a location agreement for permission to use Earl O'Neill Park for filming Legacies TV series, season 4. It's a revenue amount of $4,200 and submitted for ratification. Item number 14 is with Orange Cone Productions, LLC through the General Services Department. This is for a parking agreement and permission to use the American Legion Field Park for filming Legacies TV series, season 4. There's a revenue in the amount of $5,600 and is submitted for ratification. Item number 15 is with Felton Langlos Jr. This is for the General Services and Recreation Division. It's for instructor for tennis coaching for adults and youth at Johnson Park Recreation Center and the Rockdale Tennis Center. It's an estimated revenue of $12,000 with a 70-30 split through December 31st, 2022, with an option to renew 2 additional 12-month periods. Item number 16 is with Gina M. Dawson, doing business as Eastside Esports League. This is for the General Services Department Recreation Division to provide esports leagues at Johnson Park Recreation Center. It's an estimated revenue of $4,000 with a 70-30 split through December 31st, 2022, with option to renew 2 additional 12-month periods.
Director Rutledge, I just want to jump in right there, and I'm not sure, so I'm not going to assume, but I'm not sure both Commissioner Williams and Commissioner Washington are really familiar with esports, but let me just tell you, Rockdale is moving into the big league because esports is really a wave going across the country, particularly with our young people. It's a big deal, and this speaks volumes to the direction of our programming here at Parks and Recreation in Rockdale County. Commissioner Williams, I think you're familiar. You're about to say something about esports.
I was, yeah, I've had several conversations with Gina about it. You know, when I first heard about esports and she contacted me, and I'm thinking, I can just see these kids glued to their TVs, you know, screens, playing these games, and that's all they do. But no, esports promotes a balanced life. They have health and wellness components to what they're doing, so that kids are not just sitting there all day long. And her son has been really successful in some of these esport competitions, and has actually received scholarships to college. And so, you know, it's a really up and coming thing, but it's a really good thing for those who aren't out there interested in physical sports. This is another avenue to have fun and to excel.
Absolutely. Commissioner Washington, you was about to speak to esports as well.
I was going to challenge you to a game of something, Chairman.
All right, we'll add it as a contract amendment.
I think that might be within our age wheelhouse esport activity.
Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself.
Oh.
I think you'd have to teach me the very beginning piece.
Well, you know, whether we get it or not, the importance is that our demographic, our young people and the people in the community of Rockdale County is certainly embracing esports as it is making its wave across the county. I'm learning, and I've heard so much about it, and I'm learning how popular this is all across the region. The first time I was introduced to esports, we were at a meeting down at the Atlanta Metro Chamber of Commerce, and there I learned about the big money these young people are making through esports. This is a big deal. So certainly it's something to be proud of that we have it part of our lineup here at Rockdale Parks and Recreation. I'm glad to know that both of my colleagues are well aware of what esports is, and that we'll be learning more about it in the days ahead. So I just wanted to make sure that we are in tune and in touch with what's happening and what's relevant now in our community. Very good. Next item, Director Rutledge.
All right, item number 17 is with Quality Tire Recycling LLC through the General Services Fleet Division. This is for drop and hook agreement for the tire recycling services for the fleet services. It's an estimated cost of $3,110 per year. It's for 12 months, then auto renews unless terminated. Item number 18 is with Quality Tire Recycling LLC through the General Services and Recycling Center. This is for the drop and hook agreement for tire recycling services for the recycling center. It's an estimated cost of $14,400 per year. This is for 12 months, then auto renews unless it's terminated. Item 19 is with the Georgia Emergency Management and Homeland Security Agency. This is to the EMA Department for emergency management Performance Grant. It's for the fiscal year 2021. Acceptance of the grant amount is $25,565. The term is July 2nd, 2021 through June 30th, 2022. Item 20 is through the DECA AMR Business Products Incorporated through the EMA department. This is for the maintenance agreement for higher ground recorder in the amount of $26,125. The term is January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2022. Item 21 is with the Georgia Department of Human Services, DHS, Division of Family and Children Services for water resources. This is for the Low Income Water Assistance Program Grant, and the amount to be determined through September 30th, 2022, with an option to renew one additional one-year period, and it's submitted for ratification. Item 22 is with the Delta Municipal.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Director Rutledge, do we know about when we'll know how much the grant is? And do we know what the qualifications are going to be for the people who might qualify for the grant?
So we have Derek Bogan. Director Bogan is also on, if he would like to unmute himself. Let's give him a moment.
Good afternoon. We don't really know the amount of the grant, because what they do is they contact the citizens, contact the agency, and they pay their bills in the reels and their water bills. So there's no way of knowing how much is the grant.
Okay, I got it. So it's I got it. Okay.
Right. Thank you, Director Bogan. Did you have anything else, Commissioner?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, next item is item 22 is with Delta Municipal Supply Company through the Water Resources Department. This is for water meters and system products. It's a unit price contract change order number 1 to contract 2019-211. This is for a price increase and to renew the term through December 31st, 2022. Item 23 is with the United States Department of the Interior through the United States Geological Survey for the Water Resources Department. This is for the Georgia Long-Term Monitoring in the amount of $86,975. The term is January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2022.
Could somebody explain exactly what long-term monitoring with water resources, exactly what that is? So
Right.
to the
I was
public.
going to ask the same thing.
Yes, we can do that. Director Bogan.
Okay, the long-term monitoring program is we have floor gauges that they are at 7 different sites that they monitor for flood protection, forecast drought, monitoring, and water resources and the water quality, those type of things. That's what the USGS do with this program.
For our drinking water?
Yes.
So like in the watershed protection district and those places that we've been getting concerns from the citizen, though this is the Department of the Interior actually monitors those that water for quality as well as quantity. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's more quality than quantity. What it does is monitor the quality. It does the drought monitoring. It studies for the droughts, and it lets us know where it's going to flood and that type of thing through the waterways.
So this is an ongoing monitoring
Yes.
process.
Yes.
Okay.
They renew it every year.
Okay, all right.
All right, thank you, Director Bogan. Okay, item 24 is with Vanessa Hangen Russlin Incorporated through the Water Resources Department. This is for the long-term water quality monitoring and annual reporting. It's change order number 2 to contract 2020-114. It's the consent to assign a name change from CCR Environmental Incorporated to Vanessa Hangen Russlin Incorporated, and to extend the term through December 31st, 2022. Item 25 is with CDM Smith Incorporated through the Water Resources Department. This is for construction management services for the Snapping Shoals wastewater treatment plant construction project. It's change order number 4 to contract 2019-15. Is to extend the project term through February 1st, 2022 due to delays in materials. And this is also part of the GFA loan. Item 26 is with Lakeshore Engineering LLC through the Water Resources Department. This is for the construction of the Snapping Shoals wastewater treatment plant construction project. It's change order number 6 to contract 2018-204. Is to extend the term through February 1st, 2022 due to delays in materials, and it's also part of the GFA loan. Item 27 is with Duke's Root Control Incorporated through the Water Resources Department. This is for the sanitary sewer system chemical root control. It's a unit price contract. It's for 1 year with the option to renew 2 additional 1-year periods. Item 28 is with Air Products and Chemicals Incorporated through the Water Resources Department. This is for liquid oxygen and oxygen tank rental. This is change order number 4 to contract 2010-57. It's for a price increase of $9.46. The previous amount was $8.23 and $1,473 monthly rental. Item 29 is with Hatch Company through the Water Resources Department. This is for the Job Care Plus software in the amount of $6,901. Its annual support is $1,100 per year. This is for 2 years. Item 30 is with Atlas Technical Consultants. This is through the Transportation Department. This is for their program management services. It's change order number 4 to contract 2020-23. It's a time extension only to extend the term through December 31st, 2022, and this is SPLAST funded. Item 31 is for Corporate Environmental Risk Management, CERM, through the Transportation Department. This is for program support services. It's change order number 5 to contract 2020-18. This is for an additional funding of $122,250 and is 50% SPLAST funded. Item 32 is with the Georgia Department of Transportation through the Transportation Department. This is for the acceptance of the Local Maintenance and Improvement Grant, also known as LMIG, for 2022. It's the amount of $1,536,162.37, and it's submitted for ratification. Item 33 is with National EMS through the Fire and Rescue Department. It's a memorandum of understanding for EMT clinical training. It's at no cost for 2 years. Item 34 is a requisition for the General Services Department or Mansfield Oil Company for unlimited fuel, unleaded fuel and low sulfur diesel fuel for the term of January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2022. In the amount of an estimated cost of $222,101. Item 35 is a requisition through the General Services Department for James River Solution. This is for unleaded fuel and low sulfur diesel fuel for January 1st through January 1st of 2022 through December 31st of 2022, and the estimated cost of $1,183,364. Item 36 is a requisition through the General Services Department. This is for Petroleum Traders Corporation for unleaded fuel and low sulfur diesel fuel for January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2022. And the estimated cost of $74,025.
I had a question about these 3 contracts. Are they for different purposes, or it sounds like they're all the same? Why are there 3 separate contracts with 3 separate companies?
Good evening, Commissioner. Hi, so we have 3 different suppliers, and that is so that we have, and they're in different parts, so different pipelines. If you remember a few years ago, we had an issue with one of the pipeline. This allows us to have a vendor that's readily available to provide us fuel. So we have one main vendor, which is the James River, but then the other 2, we use them periodically. So they're there for our backups so that we can always have fuel.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Right. Thank you.
Before we move on, can I just point out to our residents that if they just look at how much money we just spent on this year from the budget just on fuel, that's almost $2 million of your tax-paying money that we've just spent on fuel for our fleet, and there's absolutely nothing that we can do about it because we are getting the best rate available. But and that's $2 million. When people say they want to see where their taxes are going, you have $2 million that you just seen go towards a fleet maintenance, and that's just for the fuel. So I think that one of the things I'd like to do this year is kind of highlight those things that have been kind of under the radar, so that when people say, well, we want to know where our taxes are going, well, guess what? We just spent $2 million of your taxes on gasoline or fuel for our vehicles.
I think, Commissioner Washington, by the time we get to the point of the digest and the hearings this year, you're going to have a long list of things to share with the citizens of Rockdale County as to where their tax dollars are going. And there, like you stated, there's a lot of things that really behind the scenes, so to speak, that people don't actually know that it takes to operate and run the county government. Certainly by the time we reach that point this year, you will be empowered and armed and dangerous with several loads of information about where the money is being spent. Absolutely. Next item, please.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item 37 is a requisition to the General Services Department for Strategic Datacom to install a projector and screen at Costly Mill Event Center in the amount of $27,391.88. This is through the impact fees. Item 38 is a requisition to the General Services Department. This is for the Atlanta Hawks Basketball Club. It's uniforms for the Junior Hawks in the amount of $16,660. And this is a partnership since 2017. Item 39 is a requisition to the General Services Department through Strategic Datacom Incorporated to install new access control at 4 sites: the courthouse, Costly Mill, JP Carr Community Hall, Extension on West Avenue per contract 2018-137 in the amount of $57,904.37, and this is host funded. Item 40 is a requisition through the Technology Services Department for SOS Capital. This is for the lease for 70 SOS copiers through January 2022 through December 2022 in the amount of $155,640. Item 41 is a requisition for Technology Services Department. This is through SOS Capital for maintenance contract for the 70 SOS copiers through January 2022 through December 2022 in the amount of $70,980. Item 42 is a requisition through the Technology Services Department for Rose Rush Services LLC. This is for the Shelter Pro software deployment for animal services in the amount of $16,325, and this is host funded. Item 43 is a requisition for the Coroner's Office for the GL Levitt Removal Services. This is for body transport and removal services for 2022 in the amount of $30,000. Item 44 is a requisition to the Sheriff's Office for Aramark Correctional Services LLC. This is for the jail food services The term is January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2022, in the estimated amount of $468,000. Item 45 is a requisition through Water Resources Department for Hatch Company. This is for laboratory supplies and the estimated amount of $35,000. Item 46 is a requisition through the Water Resources Department for Fisher Scientific for laboratory supplies and the estimated amount of $15,000. Item 47 is a requisition through the Water Resources Department for Cintas Corporation. This is a weekly locker, uniforms, cleaning, goods and services for the 2022, for year 2022 per contract 2021-102 in the amount of $23,399.48. Item 48 is a requisition through the Water Resources Department through Exxon Water Care. This is for the water selector equipment in the amount of $23,820. Item 49 is a requisition through the Water Resources Department for air products and chemicals. This is for liquid oxygen and tank rental. The term is January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2022 in the amount of $88,038. Item 50 is a requisition through the Stormwater Management Department for IPR Southeast LLC to replace damaged 42-inch pipe at Chelsea Drive. It's contract 2019-09 in the amount of $116,657.96. Item 51 is a requisition through the Board of Commissioners Office for Bill Carruthers. This is Recovery Community Program additional funds for October and November 2021 in the amount of $16,800 and is submitted for ratification. I apologize.
Can I just ask the question, where that term came from, Recovery Community Program? Because that isn't something that we've called it before. We've called it the Stepping Up Initiative.
Commissioner, I can speak to that. That's more than likely a Scrivener's error. I apologize for that. It is in fact for the Stepping Up Initiative. And this is to continue the services that have already been provided by Mr. Carruthers in the past. It's just a contract renewal. That's also applied to the additional items that we have on the agenda tonight with regard to Stepping Up.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you, Commissioner Williams, for clearing that up, asking, and Chief Cade for explaining what happened there, because we don't want to confuse people. We don't want people asking unnecessary questions and being confused about the programs that we're supporting, particularly as it relates to mental health and mental illness. When they hear multiple different names and stuff like that, it really confuses people and makes them think that something else is happening that's not really happening. So I'm so glad, Commissioner Williams, you were on top of that one. And Chief Cade, thank you for explaining it. Let's get that corrected and let's make sure that we stay on top of that moving forward, because we just want to make sure that things are clean, clear, and transparent, and folks understand exactly what we're doing. Absolutely. Next item, please.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In that same vein, the next one is item 52, a requisition through the Board of Commissioners Office for Bill Carruthers to the Stepping Up program in the amount of $92,300. Item 53 is a requisition through the Board of Commissioners Office for the Daily Policy Group for Federal Legislative Services. The term is January 1st, 2022 through May 31st, 2022 in the amount of $35,000.
Is there a reason why we're only contracting for 5 months?
I think that's when the contract is up and they're just drawing. It's my understanding that the finance department is drawing down for POs for the new year. That's why you see some of these that are on here, they're already under contract, but they're drawing them down as a PO and a requisition.
So her new contract starts in June, is that what we're saying?
Yeah, we'll have to bid those back out.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and item 54 is a requisition through the Board of Commissioners office for Tanisha Character would this also be the Stepping Up program?
Yes.
Thank you. To the Stepping Up program in the amount of $41,653.34. Item 55 is a requisition to the Superior Court through Judge Bill's Accountability Lab. This is for Microgenics Corporation for reagents and non-consumables not to exceed $75,000. Item 56 is an expenditure request through Brightwell Talent Solutions to the Talent Management Department. This is for talent search fees in the amount of $21,600. Item 57 is an expenditure request with the Dekalb County Revenue and License Administration through the Water Resources Department. This is for sewage treatment for October 2021 in the amount of $61,683.93.
Do we pay that amount yearly, or I'm curious because it just says treatment for October in 2021.
Director Morgan, or I'm sorry, Bogan, Director Bogan.
That is the amount for the month that the cab treats the sewer that comes in.
So do we have a expenditure request every month for them?
They send an invoice to us monthly for the treatment of the sewer that's going from the north side of the county that goes to DeKalb County.
All right.
And that's another piece of taxpayer funds.
Exactly. I was just getting ready to say that $61,000
A month.
is a lot of money, and once again, that's something that is not often highlighted when we look at what we're spending.
Well, and a good bit of our county is not on sewer. They're on septic.
Right.
So, wow, I did not realize that we paid that much every month.
All right. Thank you. And item 58 is also an expenditure request of the DeKalb County Revenue and License Administration for Water Resources Department. This is for the sewage treatment for November 2021 in the amount of $55,945.89. Item 59 is an expenditure request through JetCorp for the Water Resources Department. It's a refund due to overbilling, and the term was January 2020 through September of 2021 in the amount of $65,576.02.
Okay,
Items-
can we explain this one? Is this coming to us, or is this overbilling due to the errors that we were having in our water bill, or what is this refund?
What this was, I'm sorry, what this was is when the account was initially set up back then, the meter readers ran out and they read the meter, and they read it basically incorrectly. So the account was set up, but then because it wasn't using that much consumption of water, they didn't catch it until the company moved in fully and they started getting more water. So basically what it is that they read it, just to give you an example, they read these to, it's like if it was 100, we bill them for 100 and we should have billed them for 10, if that kind of makes sense, because we read too many characters in the meter when it initially set up.
So are we refunding that back to the
company? Yes.
To the company.
Yes, it's a corporation part of Prac Industries.
Okay.
We found them back, and once we found it, we had to go all the way back to find out when it first occurred.
Okay.
I'm hearing you clearly and correctly, Director Bogan. There was an error on our part, and we have refunded the company their funds back to straighten out this error. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's what this is.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Commissioner Washington, does that clear up your concerns?
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Very good. All right.
All right, thank you. Item 60 is an expenditure request through the Peach State Assistance INC for the Tax Commissioner's Office. This is for delinquent notice fees in the amount of $23,765.67. Item 61 is an expenditure request for NAFCare Incorporated through the Sheriff's Office. This is for the off-site inmate medical in the amount of $24,756.39, and it was for 2021.
So I'm curious, what does off-site medical mean? I mean, NAFCare provides our medical services in the jail, but I didn't understand what that meant.
So often, just because I've done this,
Right.
for years, there are medical needs that cannot be addressed at the jail. For example, I had a client that had a high-risk pregnancy.
Yep.
And it couldn't be addressed at the jail. She had to have her OBGYN appointments offsite at a specialist. I had another client that had heart issues. I have one client who had congestive heart failure. So when they have huge illnesses, those can't be addressed at the jail, so they have to take them offsite.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Director Washington. All right. Item 62 is an expenditure request for Lexi Poll in the Talent Management Department. This is for the local GovU training, all municipal content in the amount of $16,000 for the year 2022. Item 63 is a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of Rockdale County, Georgia, continuing a 1% sales and use tax as authorized by Article 3 of Chapter 8 of Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated, specifying the purposes for which the proceeds of such tax are to be used, specifying the period of time for which such tax may be imposed, specifying the estimated cost of the projects to be funded from the proceeds of such tax, authorizing the issuance of general obligation debt secured by the proceeds of such tax, specifying the principal amount of such general obligation debt to be issued, specifying the purpose for which such general obligation debt is to be issued, specifying the maximum interest rate or rates of interest which such general obligation debt may bear, specifying the principal amount to be paid in each year during the life of such general obligation debt, requesting that the Board of Elections call an election of the voters of Rockdale County, Georgia, to approve the continuation of such sales and use tax and the issuance of such general obligation debt, approving the form of ballot to be used in such election and for other purposes.
So when I look through parking lots at, retail locations, grocery stores, I see a lot of out-of-county license plates. And they are contributing to Rockdale County's development. So I can't see any reason why we would not pass this tax, because it's not just Rockdale residents who are supporting it.
And not only that, I mean, like you said, they're running up and down our roads, so it just makes that they would help to pay for them. But it's a look at how much we've improved the quality of life for Rockdale County residents with our SPLOST. So it's definitely something that is needed in the county. It's definitely something that has helped this county leaps and bounds. And there's so much that we would not have been able to accomplish if we did not have a SPLOST. So of course we can't, advocate for the SPLOST, but I can say right now that I don't see the down on a SPLOST. It's definitely an improvement. And when we go to other communities, when we buy anything, we're contributing to their community. So it just makes sense that when people come to ours, they contribute to ours.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, thank you. Item 64 is the request for alcoholic beverage licenses. Item 65 is a future land use case number 2022-02. An ordinance to amend the official zoning district map of Rockdale County as amended by redesignating the future land use category of 1900 Dogwood Drive Southeast and 0 Old Covington Highway from light industrial to high density residential, to impose conditions upon the property, to repeal conflicting ordinances and for other purposes. This will be submitted for a first reading next Tuesday. Item 66 is rezoning case 2022-03, an ordinance to amend the official zoning district map of Rockdale County as amended by rezoning 1141 Old Salem Road Southeast from N1 to C2, to impose conditions upon the property, to repeal conflicting ordinances and for other purposes. This will be submitted for a first reading next Tuesday. Item 67 is rezoning case 2022-04, an ordinance to amend the official zoning district map of Rockdale County as amended by rezoning 1900 Dogwood Drive Southeast and 0 Old Covington Highway from M1 to RM, to impose conditions upon the property, to repeal conflicting ordinances and for other purposes. This will be submitted for a first reading next Tuesday. And item 68 is a resolution to fix and publish qualification fees for county offices for the 2022 elections.
All right. Well, Executive Director Rutledge, I think we just kind of right through that, you and the commissioners this evening.
Yes, we did.
Well, it is, what about public comment? Do we have any public comment that have come in to you?
No, Mr. Chairman, we have no one signed up to speak tonight.
All right, very good. We'll keep it moving. We'll go right now, commissioners, to board comments, and we will start with Commissioner Washington. Happy New Year, Commissioner.
Oh, Happy New Year. That was I wish I could show it to you. That was number one on my list of things to discuss is Happy New Year. I hope that you should be raring and ready to go. You've been on a sabbatical, so you look good. It looks like you lost a couple of pounds, and
I like it when you say that. I love it when you're starting this year off on the right foot. As James Brown would say, you're starting off on the good foot.
On the good foot, right? Exactly. So it's it's good to be back in the saddle. We have had a month to kind of relax and refresh and get our thoughts and our priorities together for this year. And I will say that even with our ups and downs, I've truly enjoy I'm not going to say every moment, but 99% of my moments of being a commissioner, I've enjoyed every one of them. But so I'm looking forward to this year. I have a whole lot of goals and initiatives, and I just want us to I want to stay focused on and complete those. I can't believe that it's been 5 years since being elected, and I've been serving for 5 years. It seems like a long time, but I've learned a lot, and every day it seems like I'm still learning something new and different every day. So I'm looking forward to this 6th year of sitting in this post 1 seat and continuing to serve every day, waking up, trying to figure out a better way to serve Rockdale County. Keeping the integrity of our community while looking at the future. I will also say that today I've been named the chair of the CRETSI board. Every year we alternate between the mayor and the county representative. So this is my year of being chair, and I'm excited but a little apprehensive. But we have a whole lot of things planned with Kevin Hanna and CRETSI, and I've said it before, put your seatbelts on because we are ready to move. COVID is still rearing its ugly head, so I think we'll have a new initiative that's coming out shortly that will help our Rockdale County residents, so be on the lookout for that. I think that we'll be announcing that really soon. I think this weekend, we did start our first warming station for the county over at the fire annex for the homeless who are in need of shelter. So I thought I saw some place where somebody was wondering if Rockdale County even had homeless people. Yes, we do have a homeless community, and hopefully we can make sure that they have a place to go during inclement weather. It's supposed to be very, very cold this next weekend. It was cold this weekend. It's supposed to be cold next weekend. So hopefully we can make sure that those people are taken care of. I'd like to give a special thank you to the Sci-Fi Fraternity Incorporated. We did do a coat drive, and we collected maybe 25 coats for children that are in DFAT's custody that needed coats for the inclement weather. So those were dropped off, and hopefully those babies are wearing their coats during the inclement weather. So I'm very, very excited about that. That's it until Dr. Williams reminds me of something that I've forgotten.
All right, very good. Commissioner Williams, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. It's another even numbered year, and you know, I'm looking forward to it. I think we just have to take COVID as, you know, as it comes, and it's going to be here apparently for a while. We never ever thought we'd be back to virtual meetings again, but you know, we'll just have to keep doing what we know what we should be doing, getting vaccinated, getting boosted. I talked to a woman today. She has COVID for the second time. The first time was before vaccinations were available. She has been vaccinated, but not boosted, but she has it again. And we know that even if you're vaccinated and boosted, it doesn't prevent you from getting the illness. It prevents you from having a more serious illness. So, so social distancing, masks, they're encouraging to wear the N95 or the KN95 masks now, or double masking, but the cloth masks we've all been wearing, they say, are not really sufficient to keep this particular variant's particles from getting to us. We know a lot of people, including some of my family members, who have gotten COVID in the last 2 or 3 weeks, who have no idea where they got it. They were not, you know, exposed in a way that they would have known. Congratulations, Sherry, to being chair of the CREDC board. I think that's going to be exciting, and I think you're right. We need to buckle up and get ready for the ride, because I suspect it's going to really take us places. I really, really appreciate so much what you are doing for economic development, specifically for businesses and for growing economic growth. There's so many factors that come into economic development, but you've got one of those factors that you have just got under control. And so thank you so much for that. I am wondering, when she mentioned the warming centers, I wondered if we could hear a report on how many clients used that warming center this weekend.
Director Lewis from the Finance Department, are you able to provide that assessment, or Director Morgan from EMA?
Dan Morgan's here. I checked with the fire department this afternoon with Deputy Chief Webb just to ascertain that exact amount. And she said on both nights they had 0 participants.
Wow. Okay. Well, I know it's supposed to be down in the teens, not necessarily this week, but weekend and first of next week. So I hope that we will spread the word so that people know and can take advantage of it.
Yeah,
Thank
that's a
you.
hard demographic to get the word out to, because they
Right.
wouldn't- I don't know.
I know that it went out to law enforcement, and that's a really good resource
Right.
because they're aware of who's where and that kind of thing. But okay, I wanted to share that with COVID, that COVID tests are going to be distributed to every residence in the country, four tests. And the website is supposed to start tomorrow, but I want you to know that it's up and running today ahead of the crunch that will happen tomorrow. The website is COVID tests, it's plural, covidtests.gov. And I went on this afternoon. It was a very simple process to order some for my household. You can get up to 4 free tests. And I would highly suggest you do it today so that you're not competing with the rest of the country tomorrow. The point in time count is coming up, and that will be next Monday night, I think is the date. If I am, yes, next Monday night, the 24th. And we are collecting items for those who are homeless, and you can see the list there: socks, toiletries, blankets, coats, shoes, warm winter clothes, hats, gloves, hand and feet warmers. Those can be dropped off either at the Administrative Services Building at 958 Millstead or at Johnson Park on Ebenezer Road in the lobby. And so definitely those will go for a good cause and help some who may need those. So there are other ways to help and volunteer if you are also interested in either actually helping with the count. It starts, I think, at 9 or 10 o'clock p.m. on the 24th and goes till, I think, 2 in the morning. So Andre Thomas has that all of the detailed information on that. So if you're interested in that, contact Andre. So I wanted to tell you about my experience on Christmas Eve. I had an opportunity to go into the jail and help to provide a kind of a Christmas celebration with about 14 or 15 of the inmates. I went with Bill Carruthers, who goes in once a week and hosts a recovery group with those, and it's completely voluntary for those inmates. They don't have to go at all. They're not mandated by the courts or anything at all. They just choose to go. And a number of those have attended every single one of those sessions. But it was interesting talking and listening to them tell about how valuable it has been to them to have a peer specialist, Bill, and we have another peer specialist that's going to be starting with the women, but how different it was to have a peer who knew exactly what they were going through, who knew exactly what prison life and jail life was like, who knew how hard it was to move away from that, when for some people that's all they've ever really known as adults, and to move into recovery. And a couple of them really tried to emphasize that to me, that they really appreciated that recovery group led by a certified peer specialist. We are trying to grow our certified peer specialist community so that we will have a bigger pool to choose from, and there is so much work to be done with them. Oh, and last but not least, yesterday was the Martin Luther King celebration, and the NAACP did a really, really nice virtual meeting. And Mrs. Anitha Jones was the keynote speaker. She's a retired educator, and she's new to Rockdale County. She and her husband have only lived here about 6 months, but her comments were just so valuable about kindness and generosity and understanding the needs of our youth who may not have the opportunities that seem so apparent to many of us who have supported kids who have parents who support them in going to, furthering their education and how to move into a job and the skills that are needed, because that doesn't happen in every community. And that is her advocacy, is to helping children who, especially Black and brown children who are coming from those communities that don't have those supports. She told the story of how when she was in, I can't remember which grade, but young.
Ninth.
Pardon?
Ninth grade.
Ninth grade. She was put into a remedial low-level math class just because she was on free lunch. And that, she had to learn to advocate for herself. And so she's carried that advocacy out. I think that's something I have, seen and am passionate about also, is making sure that everyone in our community is aware of the resources that we have, has the supports they need, no matter where they've come from, no matter what their economic situation is. I just really got that impression of generosity and kindness. So those are my comments.
All right. Well, I'll tell you, there's so many great things. I too want to say congratulations to Commissioner Washington. And you got to make sure people know when you say CRESI, you're actually talking about the Conyers-Rockdale Economic Development Council. A lot of folks don't know the acronyms, and we are certainly proud of the work that Commissioner Washington has done in the area of economic development. It was evident tonight with having Young Parish receiving a proclamation from the Board of Commissioners, commissioners networking through the community and building up that rapport with folks in the community, particularly, as Commissioner Williams pointed out, a small business community and those people who count on local dollars from local citizens, making sure that connection is in place. Having Commissioner Washington now as the chair of the Conyers-Rockdale Economic Development Council gives us an opportunity to have more of an in-depth, kind of a bird's eye view in terms of what's happening there and how it's going to impact the community as a whole. With you working with Executive Director Kevin Hanna, that really gives us a lot more skin in the game. And I think it's beautiful how it's rotated between the mayor's office and the Board of Commissioners here in Rockdale County. So hats off to you, Commissioner, and congratulations for what you're doing there. Before I go forward with any additional comments tonight, I want to take a moment and bring back on Director Dan Morgan. We made it through the winter storm of Izzy this past weekend. We were getting prepared. No, it wasn't Ozzy, it was Izzy. we're getting prepared for what's
I've
coming.
been saying it
Director
wrong.
Morgan, tell us about what's coming out of emergency management and all of what your team is preparing for as we move toward the weekend.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Chairman. I just want to tell everybody that the National Weather Service had the first briefing today on the potential weather for either Thursday, Friday, and or Saturday. Right now, it's still up in the air as to when this event or this storm may hit. Whereas the previous storm, Izzy, was primarily in North Georgia, and I-20 was sort of the magic dividing line on freezing temperatures. This one, they have already determined the models are in pretty much agreement that this is going to be an east middle Georgia type storm and impact. And also what the models are starting to show is they're agreeing more on ice, not our friend, rather than snow, the pretty stuff. So I just want everyone to start now to be prepared. Usually when we get ice, we get down trees, we get power lines, we get very hard roads to drive on. So I'm telling you now, make your plans now. When this thing comes in, whenever it does, Rockdale will not be spared as we were. If there's another briefing tomorrow at 2 o'clock, but people need to be aware of how they're going to try to stay home if this thing comes in, how they're going to deal with being in their house for 24, 36 hours and not being able to go to the grocery store. So people need to plan ahead, make your travel kit, make your home kit, how to take care of yourself and your family, stay warm. But Rockdale is more than likely going to get something. I'll have more information tomorrow when the National Weather Service briefs us again, but it's not as nebulous as it was last week. We're going to get something.
So when are we supposed to be planning to be at home?
Right now, they don't know whether it's going to come in Thursday evening or Friday morning or Friday midday. So they're still trying to, the models have to figure out what parts of this storm, like anything, is going to get here first, the warm moisture or the cold air. And that's going to determine what we're going to get and when it's going to start. More than likely, we will have rain on Thursday and it will change into something late Thursday night or sometime on Friday. But there again, that is just a prognostication. It is not a forecast at this point.
Well, Director Morgan, we certainly do appreciate you and your team monitoring this and giving us the heads up. I paid very close attention to what you said about being prepared. You also talked about down power lines, which also reminds me that we are subject to be without power. So folks need to prepare. If you have elderly parents or senior citizens that are living alone, you need to be very prepared and make sure that you're checking on your elderly parents and those senior citizens in our community. Also, when these things happen, there tends to be a lot of house fires. We want to make sure that we are not the top story on the news as a result of some type of house fire. So all of these things, and I'm really particularly reaching out to our Commissioner Williams, Commissioner Washington, to our senior population and those who have seniors in their circle of influence, and most of us do, to make sure you check with them now. Director Morgan, we are on standby, ready for more updates as this week continues to progress, and you and your team can give us updates through the Public Relations Department and all of its media outlets so that we can let folks, and I really hope that members of the local clergy is watching this tonight, because this is a great opportunity for them to send out a courtesy robocall to their parishioners and members of their congregation, particularly that senior demographic, senior population that oftentimes are left out and maybe not be privy to this particular broadcast. The other thing I heard, and I hear this from public safety personnel and first responders all the time, when we have inclement weather to this degree, that's the time for people to stay off the road. Get off the road. Don't be an extra, because what happens when public safety and first responders have to respond to retrieve you, to recover you, you're putting them in more danger and adding more risk and causing for more resources just by you merely being out on the roadway. So this is very important. Don't take it lightly. And one of the last things I do want to point out, we've talked about this before, Chief Cave, is that whenever the Department of Transportation or EMA or the Sheriff's Office or the Fire Department, if they put out a barricade saying do not enter, please don't remove the barricade, don't enter. I think it was one of those last incidents we had a young lady over there off of Ebenezer Road, removed the barricade, and I'd be doggone if the Sheriff's Office and the Fire Department had to go over and pull her vehicle out of, it was submerged in the ditch. And so the barricade, the signage is there for a reason. We'll have all of our teams on standby, on alert. This is not Rockdale County's first rodeo. We've dealt with inclement weather multiple times before. I am so delighted that Chief Director Morgan, Sheriff Levitt, Chief McDaniel, and Chief Wilson are already, along with Rockdale Department of Transportation, our Water Department, Stormwater, and Code Enforcement. We typically have all hands on deck when we're experiencing this type of inclement and severe weather. So please be on the lookout. Director Morgan, what other last a statement or reminder you'd like to give us while you have this captive audience?
You hit a lot of the points. I would like for everyone to review your plan, review your fire plan, candles, fireplace for safety, remove, if you have a generator, go ahead and review how you're going to use it safely. CO kills people every year, just like house fires does. So just make sure that you are clear now what you intend to do for the next 72 to 96 hours to get ready for this event and through the event so we can all come out on the other side. But the big thing is, if you want to see what traveling on the roads, review Greenville, South Carolina's news media from 4 days ago, and you will see what cars on the slick road, they tend to bump into each other on a regular basis.
Thank you, Director Morgan. One last thing I'd like to say regarding all that, one of the most basic pieces of tools and equipment you can have during this time is certainly a flashlight, one that has a good working battery, a solid light. You don't have to be searching around for that flashlight. You also want to pull out extra covers, blankets, and quilts, because if you lose power, Georgia Power, Snap and Shows will not just show up at your house. They've got to cover, because commissioners, y'all know it, we always get these calls and text messages from residents asking us, are we aware that the power out? Yes, the power's out at my house too. So you got to make sure you're prepared. So I just want to point that out, because oftentimes people, and a lot of times those are people who are not paying attention to what's happening, and they're just reacting, so to speak, at the last minute. Thank you, Director Morgan, for being proactive. Thank you for monitoring this and keeping us abreast. I know that he'll be coming back to myself and the staff here before the week comes to an end, so that we can be prepared for whatever is going to come our way for the weekend. Chief Cave, any comments from you?
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. Only one comment. I will give credit and kudos to Director Morgan with the EMA department, and also all of our directors that were on call and on standby this past weekend. Some of the directors and their staff actually weren't just on call, they were actually working shifts here in Rockdale County to address the very minor damage that we had reported from the storm that came through this past weekend. We roughly had about a dozen incidents of trees and roadways, and also some very minor icing reports. But Director Morgan and his staff over at EMA had a full center set up where they were addressing concerns, and I also came in on Sunday and participated in the update from GEMA as it related to the current conditions. And then also Director Kelly from RDOT and his staff were readily addressing matters along with Rockdale Fire. We also had Stormwater and RWR staff that were on standby in case they were needed. So kudos to all of the department directors. They did an exceptional job this past weekend, and the citizens of this county should feel very secure in knowing that all of our directors are on top of inclement weather matters and addressing the concerns should they become available. So thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you so much. Commissioner Williams, you know, each year for the month of February, the Rockdale County Board of Commissioners, along with the great work from our Public Relations Department, and this year in conjunction with our Community Relations Department, has done a joint project to highlight Black History Month for the month of February. Last year, you recall we had a wonderful presentation about local contributions here in Rockdale County from the African American community. This year, we're taking a different approach as we highlight Black history here in Rockdale County. The emphasis this year is on the contributions of the Black church and honoring the Black church. Director Gum, if you would show us the quick little promo. This is just a snippet, a tease of what you're going to be seeing in the month of February. Our teams have done some fantastic work.
The African American Church has served as the oldest, strongest, and most influential institution in the Black community for many, many years.
Out of all I've been through, I am yet thankful, and I still have joy.
Businesses, schools, colleges, universities have been birthed out of the Black church.
When all of the other people who have established themselves to be helpful, when they fail, is there anyone else?
It is the place, the centerplex of information, the centerplex of education, and the centerplex for celebration.
I wish I had an ex-inmate in here. I wish I had an ex-junkie in here. I wish I had a former alcoholic in here. I wish I had somebody who wasn't worried about what these church people think.
This journey we're about to take you on as we feature, salute, pay homage, and pay tribute to the Black church and what it means to the African American community.
Commissioners, I'm just here to tell you that we are in for another treat this year, February, Black History Month. You know, there's a different kind of experience in the African American church, and that crosses all of the faith-based denominations, whether you're Baptist, Methodist, Catholic, Episcopalian, United Methodist, it doesn't matter. We're honoring all of the Black church and what it really means to our local community. We're not limited to just what's happening here in Rockdale, although we're featuring many faces and people here in Rockdale. We're going to talk about the church itself. We're going to talk about old school devotion, new school praise and worship. We're going to talk about the ushers ministry and talk about the power of the music ministry in the African American church. We're going to take you on a journey into the Black church, a very different experience. If you've never experienced it, we're going to really highlight, and we're going to honor the Black church and what it means to the African American community as we pay tribute to Black History Month here in Rockdale County in the month of February. So this promo is going to be running. That's just a drop in the bucket in terms, you don't want to miss this. I'm telling you, you want to encourage other people to tune in to what Rockdale County is doing. And I want to say, I gotta say it, a big thank you in advance to Miss Melissa Mims from the Community Relations Office and to Director Joe Gum. out of our public relations department. He and his team have partnered up with Ms. Mims. And let me tell you, they started working on this last year and really putting some good work ahead. And we are in for a major celebration and a big treat as we celebrate Black history here in Rockdale County. I just wanted to share that with you all. There's more coming. In the TV business, they would probably say, please stay tuned. But we're excited about that. I also want to say thank you to all of our directors. We are getting off to a good start here in 2022. And I want to thank Chief Cade for the fine work and leadership that he's doing, working with all of our department directors. I can feel a new level of positive energy, Commissioner Washington, Commissioner Williams, in the air, moving throughout the leadership of this community, working together, being inclusive, and having open dialogue and communication. One of the things I continue to focus back on is last year's BOC retreat. And during my sabbatical, as you call it, Commissioner Washington, I was able to really go back to some of those things that I know that's going to help us forge ahead in a positive way in 2022. You've heard me say it a million times. No one gets anything done by themselves. And we have a wonderful board of commissioners and excellent staff who are committed to excellence here in Rockdale County and making sure they give us the updated resources and information about how we should navigate this county in the best interest of all of the citizens here in Rockdale County. There's so many wonderful things that are moving forward. And I also appreciate the comment coming from Commissioner Williams about embracing the fact that we're going to work through COVID, no longer focusing on when COVID is going away. COVID is here. It's going to be here for a while. We may as well embrace it and accept it. We didn't have a page 47 in the beginning. We now have a page 47. We're going to navigate through this thing very safely for all of our employees and our citizens. We encourage everybody to continue to do those things that the CDC have already told us to do, to be careful. The Omicron variant is out there, it is moving, it has done some total damage in terms of being very contagious throughout our workforce and our community. Wear your mask, wash your hands, do those things, continue to social distance. Let's be smart. I've been boosted. I've had both of my shots and my booster because I care about myself and my family and all of the people that I work. No one had to pay me to go get boosted because I'm concerned about Oz Nesbitt. I'm encouraging you to do what you need to do. If you haven't been tested, go get tested. If you haven't been boosted, I'm saying go get boosted. Go get your shots and do what you need to do. Take care of you, take care of your family. I don't need another example between what I see in the community and the fact that my wife has been at the emergency room working for 19 years and getting the daily reports about what's happening in Rockdale County. I don't need another example. We need to take care of ourselves. We got to work our way through this situation. And I believe that Rockdale County has done a fantastic job. We got to get these numbers up in terms of the number of people who have received their shots and even received their boosters. And if you have young people who are eligible, go ahead and get those young people their shots as well. I'm a big advocate for education and excellence in the schools. I believe that young people need to be in a classroom. I think they need social skill development and they need that interaction from their peers and being inside a structured environment in a classroom. So that's so important. I'm gonna get off of that. I just want to say we're off to a great start this year. We're excited about all the opportunities and possibilities that 2022 has in store for Rockdale County. Director Rutledge, is there any need for an executive session this evening?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in and watching this virtual broadcast of the Rockdale County Board of Commissioners board meeting tonight. This is the first meeting of the year. We'll be back. And what's the date and time for our next meeting, Director Rutledge?
So our next meeting is next Tuesday, January the 25th. It will be at 10 a.m. It's also virtual.
All right, very good. We will continue virtual until we get to a certain point. Thank you again. Have a good evening, and this meeting is adjourned.
Good night.